A reading from 1 Samuel. Today is August 22nd. Our reading from 1 Samuel is chapter 2. And Hannah prayed, "My heart exults in the Lord. I have triumphed through the Lord. I gloat over my enemies. I rejoice in your deliverance. There is no holy one like the Lord. Truly, there is none beside you. There is no rock like our God. Talk no more with lofty pride. Let no arrogance cross your lips. For the Lord is an all-knowing God. By him actions are measured. The bows of the mighty are broken, and the faltering are girded with strength. Men once sated must hire out for bread. Men once hungry hunger no more, while the barren women bear 7. The mother of many is forlorn. The Lord deals death and gives life, casts down in Sheol and raises up. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He casts down, he also lifts high. He raises the poor from the dust, lifts up the needy from the dunghill, setting them with nobles, granting them seats of honor. For the pillar of the earth are the Lord's. He has set the world upon them. He guards the steps of his faithful, but the wicked perish in darkness, for not by strength shall man prevail. The foes of the Lord shall be shattered. He will thunder against them in the heavens. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give power to his kings and triumph to his anointed one. Then Elkanah and Hannah went to Ramah, and the boy entered the service of the Lord under the priest Eli. Now Eli's sons were scoundrels. They paid no heed to the Lord. This is how the priests used to deal with the people. When anyone brought a sacrifice, the priest's boy would come along with a 3-pronged fork while the meat was boiling. He would thrust it into the cauldron, or the kettle, or the great pot, or the small cooking pot, and whatever the fork brought up, the priest would take away on it. This was the practice at Shiloh with all the Israelites who came there. But now, even before the suet was turned into smoke, the priest's boy would come and say to the man who was sacrificing, "Hand over some meat to roast for the priest, for he won't accept boiled meat from you, only raw." And if the man said to him, "Let them first turn the suet into smoke, and then take as much as you want," he would reply, "No, hand it over at once, or I'll take it by force." The sin of the young men against the Lord was very great, for the men treated the Lord's offerings impiously. Samuel was engaged in the service of the Lord as an attendant, girded with a linen ephod. His mother would also make a little robe for him and bring it up every year when she made the pilgrimage with her husband to offer the annual sacrifice. Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "May the Lord grant you offspring by this woman in place of the loan she made to the Lord." Then they would return home. For the Lord took note of Hannah. She conceived and bore 3 sons and 2 daughters. Young Samuel, meanwhile, grew up in the service of the Lord. Now Eli was very old. When he heard all that his sons were doing to all Israel, and how they lay with the women who performed tasks at the entrance of the tent of meeting, he said to them, "Why do you do such things? I get evil reports about you from the people on all hands. Don't, my sons. It is no favorable report I hear from people of the Lord spreading about. If a man sins against a man, the Lord may pardon him, but if a man offends against God, who can obtain pardon for him?" But they ignored their father's plea, for the Lord was resolved that they should die. Young Samuel, meanwhile, grew in esteem and favor both with God and with men. A man of God came to Eli and said to him, "Thus said the Lord, Lo, I reveal myself to your father's house in Egypt when they were subject to the house of Pharaoh, and I chose them from among all the tribes of Israel to be my priests, to ascend my altar, to burn incense, and to carry an ephod before me. And I assigned to your father's house an offering by fire of the Israelites. Why then do you maliciously trample upon the sacrifices and offerings that I have commanded? You have honored your sons more than me, feeding on the first portions of every offering of my people Israel. Assuredly, declares the Lord, the God of Israel, I intended for you and your father's house to remain in my service forever. But now, declares the Lord, far be it from me. For I honor those who honor me, but those who spurn me shall be dishonored. A time is coming when I will break your power and that of your father's house, and there shall be no elder in your house. You will gaze grudgingly at all the bounty that will be bestowed on Israel, but there shall never be an elder in your house. I shall not cut off your offspring from my altar, but to make your eyes pine and your spirit languish, all the increase your house shall die as ordinary men. And this shall be a sign for you, the fate of your 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas. They shall both die on the same day. And I will raise up for myself a faithful priest, who will act in accordance with my wishes and my purpose. I will build for him an enduring house, and he shall walk before my anointed evermore. And all the survivors of your house shall come and bow low for him for the sake of money fee and a loaf of bread, and shall say, Please assign me to one of the priestly duties, that I may have a morsel of bread to eat.